In this video we're going to show tying the Pine Squirrel Leech, which is our go-to carp fly. We tend to tie this in a variety of colors. This one's shown in a burnt orange or crawdad orange color, which we prefer as our number one fly. We also tie this in black, natural brown, kind of an olive color. All are very effective. And we tie these in weighted and unweighted versions depending on the depth of the water in which we're fishing. Fairly simple fly. As guides, we believe the flies should be something that are effective but simple to tie so they don't take a lot of time. When tying our Pine Squirrel Leech, we use circle hooks. Here's a Mustad C71S-SS, which is a stainless steel circle hook. We prefer the circle hooks because of their guaranteeing of a lip hookup on the fish rather than a deep hookup. And we also use barbless hooks, where we bend the barbs down because we believe in fishing barbless for all species of fish. This happens to be a size 2 hook, and when we start the tying process, I anchor the thread at the bend of the hook, and then I take my pine squirrel zonker material and leave a piece of the material hanging out the back with the fur laying to the back, and just tie this in place. 2 or 3 good wraps to secure that zonker material is all you need. And at that point I wrap the thread forward and secure it at the front because I'm using a rotating vise. Once my thread is secure and I'm ready to start turning the material onto the hook, in our case with the rotating vise it's very simple. Just rotate the vise and palmer the material forward over the hook, and this allows the material to spread out and make a good coverage of the hook. When you get to the front end of the hook, at this point it's a simple process of merely tying off the zonker material in front, clipping the excess, and then forming a head on the fly with some of your thread. After the head has been formed, just a simple whip finish. I usually whip finish 3 times to make sure that it's nice and secure. Trim the excess thread, and if you want to use head cement you could, but there's no need. In tying the same fly, the Pine Squirrel Leech, as a weighted version, I usually tie on black thread to indicate that it's a weighted fly, and merely wrap the hook with several turns of a lead-free wire. And the reason I like weighting with the wire rather than an eye is because the wire gets covered by the zonker material, and then when you cast the fly, the presentation makes a softer landing, less sound when it hits the water, less likelihood of spooking the fish. I like to palmer back through that lead wire just to make sure that it's not going to slip on the hook. And at this point the process is exactly the same. Tie in your pine squirrel zonker strip at the back end. 3 or 4 good wraps to secure it is all you need. Once again, bring your thread forward. I secure it here at the eye because of the rotating vise that we use. At this point it's exactly the same. Merely turn the vise, allow the zonker material to build up on the hook, covering your lead material or your lead-free material and your hook, and then just secure the zonker material at the head once again with several turns, and clip off the excess material. Once again, just build a head with your thread, and in this case, because I'm using the black thread, that tells me that my hook is a weighted hook. And once again, just a few whip finishes. And the fly is complete. Here's an example of the pine squirrel leech tied in both the weighted and the unweighted version. With the weighted flies, once again, I use black thread to indicate that it has weight on the hook, and a tan thread to indicate that it's an unweighted hook. We believe no matter what fly you're throwing, it should fall to the bottom in a count of about 3. So in very shallow water, an unweighted fly gets you to the bottom in a count of 3. And the deeper the water, the heavier the fly. Again, a count to about 3 to the bottom. That way you can lead your fish the same no matter how the depth of the water the fish is swimming in.